really getting into some of the worst gusts, 60 to even 74 miles per hour, that threshold of hurricane force, one of the worst storms that has ever hit Atlantic City.
It is possible this entire low-lying barrier island will be overflowed with water in the next 12 hours.
The road into this seafront town is completely submerged. Damage started early, massive chunks of boardwalk littering the streets. Street after avenue after cul-de-sac inundated.
More than 1 million people in 11 states are already without power, and as many as 10 million may lose electricity as the storm pushes in.
When the hurricane hit, I remember being in my house, and I remember being like hunkered down, bunkered down, and just a crazy night. And I remember watching the news incessantly and seeing like the damage down the shore and the damage everywhere. I couldn't believe that we were spared. I couldn't believe that nothing had happened to us. But when tragedy hits that close to home, I feel called to do something. I think there's so many things in life that we can't do anything about. There's so many things that happen right here in Philadelphia that there's nothing that I, as a human being, can do to help. But in this case, in a relief effort situation, it was clear that there was a bunch of needs and a bunch of immediate emergent needs. In my role as the Director of Student Ministries at Hope Community Church, I felt that it was something that I could mobilize my students against. We found Shore Fellowship Church in Egg Harbor Township, and they were fantastic, and had already hit the ground running with their relief efforts, and were more than willing to have us partner alongside them.
We've been working on Sandy relief. It all started with housing the Atlantic City Rescue Mission, about 350 homeless, and it's kind of gone beyond that as we now are trying to make a difference in our community and taking care of some schools that have need of food. And we're so thankful today for Hope Community Church out in King of Prussia that has stepped inside of all this to help us, and they're going to be going down with us also today and giving out food to the kids. And we're just so thankful and blessed by their heart to partner with us to make a difference in Atlantic County, make a difference in lives. And just so everybody knows, what is happening here has already resulted in lives being changed. So thank you. Keep up the great work.
So our early efforts came in providing food. As we traveled to them, we would bring food with us, and then we took that food from their location in Egg Harbor Township to multiple locations, mostly schools in the Atlantic City area. After going down the first time and being inspired by what Shore Fellowship was doing and creating food bags and creating already prepackaged food bags that had all the essentials in it, rather than trying to collect a can of spaghetti sauce from one place and a jar of peanut butter from another and then putting it in a bag, just asking people to provide whole complete bags of supplies, and those bags would just basically then be turned over and handed over to another person. We had called on our church and our local community and some folks from other places around the country that we know, and we asked them to either go out and collect a bag of food themselves or to go and just sponsor a bag. And sponsoring a bag, we would then go create the bags at the local grocery store. And it was a blast. I mean, we generated over 200 bags and put those in our box truck and then headed down to the shore. Headed to Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey at Shore Fellowship Church. We'll be helping Shore Fellowship with their hurricane relief efforts. We have 200 grocery bags full of food for them today that will be delivered to Atlantic City. And when we're ready to go with that, we'll be working in their food pantry and on their clothing truck, just getting things organized and set up for for people that will be coming through to accept relief help. Now we're here at Shore Fellowship Church, loading bags to go to Atlantic City, New Jersey. They've been churning out over 200, 300, 400 bags a day to needy folks in the Atlantic City community. And we're excited to be here today serving, and the bags from Hope Church will be combined with these to be donated later on today. So the next goal was to figure out how to lever our greater church body against the needs and the destruction. There's still so much need, so much damage, so much disaster. How can we encourage and inspire our church family, our adults in our congregation to actually go and do and serve? Roman had a connection with a pastor in the Long Beach Island area, and we connected with them and worked with Southern Baptist Relief. So we took over 60 adults out to Long Beach Island for the day and served mostly in clean-outs, gutting houses that had been flooded with up to 3-4 feet of water, taking out carpets and just removing anything that was wet.
We are at Beach Haven. We're helping Ted. We had water in his house, and all the water came in and pushed everything in the garage, like all over the place. So we just kind of try to throw out what we can, salvage what we can, and give this guy some help. So working well.
We are working on actually rental property, but for this woman who lives right there, who actually lost her business as well as her rental property. So right now she has no money. She typically employs 75 to 80 people, and she was just in a jam. So we're here helping her out, basically doing a complete tear out of the house. All the flooring, all the walls. The only thing left in there is really the ceiling. And we've got kids right now taking care of little things like getting serial numbers off of appliances, getting doors off of refrigerators so that they're safe, and taking out piles and piles of wood.
Hi, my name's John. Thanks so much for coming out today. You guys got more done in about half an hour than it took me to do in over 3 days for sure. Just a big help. 3 weeks ago today, we were getting ready for the storm, and then on Sunday after it hit, the ocean actually came down our street, and we had 47 inches around the house, and 21 inches came inside. We lost everything on our first floor. And it's just been 3 weeks of trying to clear all the debris and get water back. And we have electricity, but we didn't have drinkable water until today. And we don't have heat. We have electric heaters, and they're doing okay. So we're doing great. Like, and the help that you guys are doing has been tremendous, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, we're here on California Ave, and you can see behind me just a whole bunch of people. I hope church turned out today. I think there's almost 40 of us here now helping a lady who's this is her full-time home. She's lived here since 1972. This is the first bad flood and hurricane devastation she's ever had. Four feet of water in her home, ripping out all her carpets and moving all the stuff around her yard, kind of put it back the way it's supposed to be. think anytime disaster strikes, I think we as Christians are called to respond in some way. I look at events that have happened throughout the country and I say, most of the time the only thing I can do is pray. But when something strikes close enough to home that you have the ability to be feet on the street and hands in the mess, that is our responsibility to do what we can in that moment. And this is just an example of that.